Hey, do you have a bucket list? Do you remember what's on it? Well, I'll tell you, a gentleman, 95 years old, who said, yeah, not only do I remember, but we got down to the bottom, and I haven't gotten a chance to do that yet. And then he called Hospice of the Valley, and they helped Donna Moody get rid of that bucket list once and for all. And they are nurse Monisha Rowe and social worker Deb Allier. And reading the column, by the way, in the paper that our friend Lynn Sue wrote about this was absolutely fascinating. How did it begin?
I was doing my regular visit with him. We were sitting in the living room chatting, and he always has his TV on, and they had electric cars on, like a commercial, and he was like, I would love to do that. Would tell me never in his lifetime did he think that would be possible. And so I called Deb, and then we just got it going.
Well, and I know people who are fascinated with the whole concept of driverless cars, like the Waymo people, but they're afraid to get in the car and move because there's no driver over there. Yeah. And he had no problems at all with that?
No, he had way less problems than we did. He was just so excited. He was so happy. We were kind of spastic because the Waymo had just started coming into that area. You know how they were expanding their boundaries.
I see them everywhere.
And they had just started coming up by Beatitudes where he lives. And they didn't come to our side of the street. They came 4 lanes over off of Glendale Avenue and like a block down. And he's in a walker, and they only wait 5 minutes. So we had to try to,
scurry over.
Yeah, we had to like really move mountains to get him over there before they left.
You couldn't stand over on the sidewalk and wave.
No,
right?
there's nobody to wave at. So that was very stressful. And when we got there, one thing to note is a Waymo trunk will not hold a walker. So we had to put that in my little back of my Mini. I grabbed him and put him in my Mini Cooper and drove him over to the Waymo. And then a golf cart took Monisha and his buddy that went with us. And we were so afraid it was going to, just as we were getting in to fulfill his dream, we thought it was going to take off without us.
At any time, did anybody happen to lean in and tell Don, the recipient of this extra service from Hospice of the Valley, Don, you're really turning into a lot of trouble? No?
No, that conversation
But was
didn't
it
happen.
fun? Talk about the trip itself and where you went. He's a resident in Beatitudes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you went from there to where?
To the Biltmore, and we had lunch. But so when we got to go in, there's a button that says start ride, and so he had to push the button, and he was so excited to do that. And then it kind of took off, and we were all like very, very surprised. But overall, it was a smooth trip. Do you want to talk about when it was going and to switch the lanes?
Don't ask, just know.
Yeah,
yes,
there was just one time when we were kind of taken aback because it came up to a red light, and instead of stopping like we thought it would, it just moved over to the left turn lane like this.
Yes.
But everything went well. We were all safe, and he was delighted. You can see it in his face in the video.
He did not stop smiling the whole ride.
Yes, and he was relaxed, but like taking it all in like a kid. He was so excited, and he was just. You could see it, and he was a science teacher, by the way, too. So he just has
very fascinating.
A love of anything like that.
95 years old. And what he wanted to do with all the things apparently that had been resolved on his bucket list, he wanted to be transported without a driver in a Waymo. But once you go to lunch and once you're there and you're at the Biltmore, what becomes of the car? Does it go back somewhere?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes away and you just order a new one, just like an Uber or a Lyft. It's fairly easy.
Okay, but if you wanted another Waymo, all you have to do is call?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've got to do that myself sometime. And as I was reading about it. So afterwards, though, he let you know that it was not only a Make-A-Wish, if we could bring in another organization that was fulfilled and resolved, but That it was everything you wanted it to be?
Yes, still now to this day, he talks about it. He actually saw a clipping of it in the newspaper. I don't know which newspaper it was, but he cut it out for me. And so the next time I went over to visit, he had it posted in his room. He's so happy.
Yeah.
That's Monisha, and that's Deb. And Don, I'll bet you that you're watching. And congratulations. Of course, I've never been in a Waymo, but at least now I know I can call Hospice of the Valley, and they may be able to make arrangements. Good to have you with us. You in particular, Don.